2QAQ.
KB2 UKA.
Everybody's coming out of the wood.
Lux, man. I hear about this Lux. All my friends, man. Every one of them have a Lux now, man. So I'm going crazy there, Doug.
Well, you got to go join the party, man. Join the club. Get a Lux. How you doing, Doug?
Good, guys, good. Holy schmoly, lots of static crashes. I think we're getting a little storm tonight, Harry. Are you getting them?
Well, look at your radar. Well, you're up by Chris, but there's some storms passing between Montauk Point and they're going like right over Block Island, and I think the Cape is even catching some storm up there right now.
Yeah, I'm getting like 10, 15 dB crashes, but they're constant. But you guys are all booming in. And Chris, congratulations, man. You're like 25 over.
Chris?
Look what's over Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess out there. Chris, you copy?
Where you put Jefferson?
He stepped away. He'll be back.
What's up, Richie? What's up, Isaac? And Mike, I heard you in there too. You guys are all booming in.
Hey, Chris, what's happening, bud?
Gary, Mike, Isaac, Mikey. I don't know if I missed anybody.
What's up, Richie? Look what's out over Western PA. Holy cow. I heard the Carl shut down before.
Yeah, it's covering the entirety of PA, the northern part.
You know, this type of weather pattern we don't usually see, coming down from like upstate and heading to the south and west until like in June. Get across Block Island Sound down that way. That path, that's generally June into July. We see those kind of storms coming through.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a hot summer with all this humidity, all this moisture since March.
I remember one time it was the blessing of the fleet in mid-June, and my wife and I woke her up. I said, let's go fishing. So we went out, and we came back around 1 o'clock. The blessing goes off, I think, around 4, and there was a hell of a squall, just like the storm, the pattern coming through right now. It blew boats. The boats go out into the sound. Boats were blown up on the beach. It was a freaking mess. So we were glad we got in early that day.
Oh yeah. And is it gonna warm up this week? I think it was supposed to. Yeah, we got the storm tonight. I've got no lightning forecast tonight, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. KB2 UKA at the 10. Well, at the 50.
Well, William.
Good evening, dear Doug. Everyone be now.
Man, Isaac, that low end sounded sweet.
And I just have I had the intermittent problem, so it's just two pieces. It's just your DBX and then the EQ and then the sonic exciter. So I took the rest stuff off to the line because I wanted to find out what's going on. So it's just 2 pieces this evening, Digger.
Yeah, well, it sounds good. Has it stopped since you took it out? It hasn't happened, or has it?
It happened, but I believe the problem was mine, man. I think that I had the the mic preamp, it was too low, man. It was way down, man. So I was in there taking a shower. I was like, man, I'm supposed to see those lights lit up, man. They wasn't lighting up, man. So maybe the threshold was too low there, man. So I turned it up today. So let me see what happens.
All right, well, man, it's sounding sweet. It's sounding sweet. See, less is more. I should take my own advice.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just the DBX 286, and then we got the one that you helped me with that other night, the 131, the EQ, and then
What's up,
I
Andy?
got a Sonic Exciter and inline. So it's just the two pieces now. So I'm glad that it's sounding good. And I'm watching it, man. Now I can see, when it cut out, I could see which one is giving me a hard time, because I'll see which one is getting lit up nowadays, so no problem. KB2UKA, KB1BEM back here, you could turn it around.
All right, Roger. KB1BEM, KB2UKA. All right, guys. Chris, did you ever make it back?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. KZ2F.
So you must have stepped away. I said I wanted to congratulate you. I've been listening in on the new amp, and you're almost 30 over. Sounding marvelous.
Ooh, I'll take 30 over. That's good. Yeah, back to power. Yeah. I just had enough, and I couldn't take it anymore, and the opportunity came up, and I jumped on it.
Excuse me. So what is it? I missed what it was. Is it the Lux or the Mercury?
Oh, no, it's the Lux, the Mercury Lux. And I'll tell you what, it's so small, so compact, so lightweight, but yet delivers. I mean, it packs a punch. I'll tell you what, this thing go right over our legal limit if you're not careful. I'm only putting like 24 watts in.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful amplifier. It's gorgeous. Your signal's crystal clear. The strength in the audio, the fidelity. It's great. It's great. So all this for the last few months, what have you been running? 100 watts?
Oh, for the last 6 months, maybe longer. I forgot. 100 watts, whatever the radio would do. That was it.
Well, you're always strong to me, but that's, ground wave our distance. But tonight it's something different. It sounds really good. I have the live stream on if you want to go listen later.
Oh, okay,
Good evening,
cool.
gentlemen, NP2G.
Yeah, right now I'm bumming my shop mini split. For some reason, the compressor was blowing the breaker. I'm thinking I need a hard start kit for it, but anyway, I have to work on. The necessity is the mother of all when you're going to intervene. So usually when it's about 90 degrees, I'll be out there working on it. My shop mini split, for some reason, the compressor was blowing the breaker. I'm thinking I need a hard start kit for it, but anyway, I have to work on. The necessity is the mother of all when you're going to intervene. So usually when it's about 90 degrees, I'll be out there working on it. Sounds very penetrating.
Yeah, that add in there also, okay?
We're going to call you the Penetrator.
Ooh, that sounds good. NP2G, good evening.
Good evening, Ed.
Good evening, Ed. W2QAQ.
I figured I'd say hello. Just got back from New Jersey, Long Beach Island, and life is good down there.
And hello, Ed. How you doing?
Just marvelous. Simply wonderful.
Yeah, good evening there, Ed, from Ed up here in Boston, man. I'm going to run away and come back. Just wanted to say good evening, okay?
Hey, Ed, what are you doing? How are you to make it out?
I'm making out good. I'm going to run away. So just wanted to make sure I say good evening. NP2G, KB1B.
Long Beach Island, that's down near Ship Bottom, Love Ladies, that area, Ed?
Long Beach Island. We were out to Long Beach Island. We're the Long Beach Island Yacht Club. That's where they had the wedding.
Long Beach
Beach Islands in South Jersey.
Yeah, Roger, I know that. Love Ladies, my aunt used to have a house down there when I was a little kid. There was like nothing around back then.
Yeah, we stayed at Love Ladies Hotel overnight yesterday.
Yeah, she was like her house was on a lagoon, and it was like the only house on that road. But I Googled Earth that recently, and that place is overbuilt.
Oh God, yeah, it's all ripped up there too for whatever reason.
Yeah, I got fond memories of that area.
It was good. Nice food, nice party, good people. So we enjoyed it. I'm paying the price today, though. Too many Blue Horizons or whatever the hell they were. Oh.
Hey, Ed, it's Doug, KB2UKA. Nice 20 over signal on Long Island. Sounding good.
Well, thank you, Doug. I appreciate it. I just turned this thing on. I just went automatic, so I could probably diddle with it a little bit, but that's what's going on.
No, it sounds good. What's your QTH?
It's in Saylorsburg, Pennsylvania, backside of Camelback ski area. That's where I'm located, on the backside of Camelback there. Thank God I missed the winter this year, so life was good.
Ah, very, very good. Very good. I think you're getting some storms tonight, though.
I understand that. I can see a little bit of activity on the, splish splash on the radio, but nothing crazy.
All right, very good. Yeah, I think it's going to make its way east. I'm 50 miles east of Manhattan on the North Shore. I think we're going to get a little bit tonight.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Camelback ski area, huh?
Yep. Hey, Mike, and the CFC?
Yeah, I haven't touched it, Ed.
Good for you. It sounds good, man. I think you're right up there.
Hey, you fixed me up real good with that Orban curve.
Okay, that wasn't my fault. K2GX came up with that a long time ago when Pratt made this, so that's what it is.
Hey, you can't argue with success.
Oh, absolutely. The generic answer to an extremely complex function.
Cut out a lot of my background noise.
That was your trademark. All you had to do was key up, and you didn't even have to say anything, and we knew it was your carrier.
Yeah, I still have some noise, but it's not like it was.
Have the jammers started to re-jam you there, Mikey? Maybe not. They can't. They now understand you, so maybe they'll just leave you alone.
No, they'll never give up, Ed. You know the way they are. Did you guys hear about the barges on the Ohio River? I sent an email out about that.
I just got home, so what went on?
26 barges cut loose. Destroyed a lot of stuff.
Wow. Wonder if it's some sort of secret plan,
Maybe just got a virus.
KB2UK, wasn't that that was a day or two ago, right? They just released what happened?
Yeah, Roger. I sent it out yesterday.
Yeah, and they had to tug a bunch of them away. They had to divert them from bridges, I thought I read.
A bunch of them were up against the dam, too.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, well, what are they attaching these things with? Parachute cord?
Actually, the cables are stainless steel or steel cable. Must be Chinese steel.
Well, I don't think they're ripping that off.
So I'm waiting patiently for the Israeli Defense League to go and retaliate. That ought to be fun.
They had chemical railroad derailments, right? Spills, the one in Ohio, they were all over. I think it comes in waves.
I heard both of you. You want to know something funny? The friggin' stock futures are up right now.
The market's being propped up by the Fed.
So, market was down Friday in lieu of what happened in Israel. And then as soon as the drones were released, Bitcoin dropped 10%. And now you've got futures up, unless there's if they were... My guess is they're not going to wait till like 5 days to retaliate. So it's going to probably be tonight or tomorrow morning. And then you'll have a 5% drop in the market tomorrow.
Why do more of our young boys got to die in the Middle East again? I'm fed up with it.
Oh, it's like a broken record. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I love the meme that's going around. You got the missiles coming from Iran. It says, that's my tax money. And then it's got the defense coming up from Israel. It says, that's also my tax money.
Let all the pussies fight their own friggin' war. Bring our boys home. 5 days ago, we had our ship steaming out to the Middle East. Like nobody knew anything was going down.
Yep. They all repositioned a week ago. I've been saying this, you could tinfoil hat me all you want. This could be their 2024 version of COVID. All elections are suspended due to threat of nuclear war. Let's see what happens.
Whoa, that could happen, yeah.
Elections have never been suspended in America, ever.
They came pretty close last time.
Gold hit $2,447 at 11 o'clock on Friday.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know what it's doing in the futures market. I bet it's down if stock futures are up.
Look at the price of gold. It was like $23.75.
Yep, and I don't know how the hell I paid $3.03 a gallon for gas tonight.
It's because they're dumping the strategic oil preserves.
There's not enough in here to have any effect on the market.
Don't tell Joe Biden that.
Remember Trump filled it up for pennies?
Yeah, no one made money off that deal. They didn't like it. Did you see this picture of him laying on the beach, Biden?
No, but I could just only imagine.
He's on a $10 recliner, passed out on the beach. I think this was Friday when they had to cut his little trip short Saturday.
I did see one of his... propaganda moves there. I think he had 100 people at the propaganda move.
You're repositioning warships, like Mike said, 5 days before Friday. And you think it's a good idea as the commander of the free world to go on vacation Friday just to come home Saturday? Probably should have been in Washington, but that would be common sense.
Problem.
He knew it was going to happen. He knew he was going to have to come home. All of this is to make him look good because we have an election coming up. After watching this shit for a half century, you could almost predict what's going to happen.
Hey, Doug.
Yeah, Chris.
Which amplifier do you run over there?
The one from the Outback. The VK3 amp, the 2.2 kilowatt. But right now we are maxing out at $14.97.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever heard of that amplifier.
Oh, we've all been talking about him for like the last 8 months. VK3 amp. It's full legal limit. Well, like I think it'll do like 2.4 actually. It's $1,000 cheaper than the Lux, and the wait was 3 weeks.
Oh, there you go.
Wow. I'll have to look that one up and take a look at it.
Take a look at it. It's a great amp. Built-in minus 55 dB sampler for pure signal. I got rid of all the other crap I used to use for it. Just have that little SMA going from there to the RX bypass on the Anon. That's it.
And who sells it again?
It's an Australian guy. First name is Onder. Oscar November Delta Echo Romeo. It's called the VK3 amp. And it's got the same software as the Lux and the Mercury 3. It's a big boy. It's like, it's definitely bigger than the Lux. This thing's got to be 45 pounds. It's heavy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Does it have LV Mosses?
God, I don't think it's an LD MOS. What? It's a MOSFET, right, Mike?
As discrete LD Mosses, Chris.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds cool. I mean, it sounds good. I mean, yeah, for pure signal, obviously I use my little, it's just a little box. I mean, it's just tiny. I mean, it's like a little matchbox, you know, the size wise, and that just goes between the coax and the output of the amplifier. So not a big deal. And then of course, you know, you got the SMA that goes to your RX, TX, or bypass, or whatever the hell that port is. So other than that, yeah, that's not a big deal.
You say it's a V10.3 amp?
Victor Kilo 3 Alpha Mike Papa Sierra. Just Google him. He's got a website. And if you ever were interested in it, you look him up on Facebook and just shoot him a Facebook message and he'll send you an invoice. He sells it in kit form, $300 more. He sends it built and tested, which is what I did. But yeah, I've been running it now. What are we? We're in April. God, I'm going to guess since Christmas, I think. I got to look when I had it delivered. But it's been flawless ever since.
Okay, V10.3 amp. It was a double there.
Oh, Victor Kilo 3. Victor Kilo 3, like the Australian call.
What a name for him to have, Under, right?
Yeah, I know. That almost sounds German.
Oh, yeah.
KB2 UKA at the 10.
KZ2N.
NP2G.
There's a lot of Germans in Australia.
And if you look at his website, Ed, that coupler, he sells a coupler, which is the same circuitry that's in the amp. He sells it for $140. I know a lot of guys that bought it, and they're running it without the VK amp on their own amp, and it works great. KB2 UKA, I'll be on the side for a sec.
No, what you got there is a sampler. He does sell a coupler, but it's $300.
Yes, I meant the sampler. You're correct. I'll be right back. KB2UKA.
I still don't understand the difference between the sampler, which is what I have. I have a sampler and a coupler. What's the advantages and disadvantages? I don't get it.
The coupler has directivity.
And what does that do?
Coupler has two ports. One port is a sample of the reflected power, and one port is a sample of the forward power in the main line.
Are you getting as many static? I mean, the static crashes are. Yeah, I'm just noticing that now. Is there a storm coming?
Yeah, they're everywhere. KB2UK. They're like 10 dB here, Chris.
Chris, did you understand what Mike was telling you? Mike, describe to him the sampler, how the sampler is different than a coupler. Coupler, you have single direction, bi-direction. Tell him the difference between the coupler and a sampler.
Yeah, I did. It separates a sample of the forward and reflected. And a sampler only has one output.
Right, but does it receive the return as well as the forward?
Well, that's why I don't like samplers, because when you got a visual issue, strange things happen. Because both signals, they add.
No. That's not what I'm asking. Does the sampler, put out the return, or does it put out the forward? That's directional too,
No, it doesn't. It doesn't separate anything, Richie. It just puts out a sample of what's on the main line. Whether it's forward reflected, it doesn't care.
Okay, so it's sample and bolt at the same time, forward and reverse. It's not separating, right? So that's how I want you to explain it, because these guys don't understand.
No, whatever is happening on your transmission line, whatever signals are there, are gonna, the vectors add or subtract depending on the phase, right?
Because if the sampler only sampled the forward power, it would be no different than the coupler, other than that you could have a bidirectional coupler.
You could have a coupler with one port, but the other port is internally terminated at 50 ohms.
So for pure signal, you want a sampler.
I understand all that. But
no, you don't want a sampler, because it does things that you really don't want.
Output only, the sampler single port, and the coupler, you could have a single port. Explain the difference.
I just did. A single port coupler is the same as a dual port coupler, but the reflected port is terminated inside of 50 ohms. You don't get to see that part.
Well, they don't even have to add that tap to it, okay? But on a regular sampler, does it not sample the forward power going out? Why is the coupler different?
It samples whatever's on the main line, whatever combination of signals that are there.
So what's in this amp?
I don't know.
What he's explaining to you, Doug, if you have any return signal coming from the antenna, it's also being mixed with what's going out of the amp.
Yeah, well, there's more than that. if you buy a strong AM station, you're going to get some of that coming back too.
I'm looking at the boards right now to see what's in this. So, oh my God, where is it? Well, Mike, it's got I thought it was a minus 55 dB sampler. Does that sound right? Or would you have a minus 55 dB coupler?
It all depends. The IQ coupler, the one that everybody's been using since the beginning of time, puts at about minus 43 dBm. But you use that along with an external 10 dB pad. And you should put that pad at your radio. That way, the signal level in that sample coax is 10 dB higher.
How much are these guys?
Some fudsters don't understand
well,
that.
when you Mike, when I look at the schematic, right, of the coupler with the dual coils, the dual toroids wound, one is so it blocks the forward path. The second one is so it blocks the forward. Blocks the reflected. The second one, anything coming back in, it's supposed to receive that, put that to a separate terminal, block it from the forward. And the first one picks up the output only, which has nothing
more
to do
of that
with
going
the
on there, Richie. One of those is a voltage
look at the way they
sample, one's a
wire it
current
in, it
sample.
just bypasses right over and out. Same as the coupler.
One's a voltage sample, one's a current sample, right?
Either way, it works. I still terminate the unused sample port with a 50 ohm device there on it. So, it's the same thing or similar.
Yeah, no, it goes without
That's correct,
saying.
and you're supposed to do that.
You can't leave that reflective port flapping in the breeze. Bad practice.
How much do these things cost?
3,600 shipped. Wait, you talking about the amp or the samplers and the couplers?
No, they're amplifier.
The IQ coupler was like $150.
The coupler's 200, the sampler was 140, and the whole amp ed built and tested and shipped is 3,600.
Oh, it looks good. It looks nice.
I think to buy a coupler off him directly, it's $299. That's crazy.
Doug, don't lose any sleep over it. Your sample is working just fine for what you got to do.
No, it is. I'm just trying to. I'm going through the manual. I'm trying to see if it's a sampler or a coupler. The amplifier, two amplifier, blah 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 blah. Nope, not there. Yeah, I'll find this. KB2 UKA. And it's an LD Moss MHT 1803.
You see, all these other amps, there's two devices in one package, right? So when you operate them in push-pull, they're pretty much matched already, right? You have discrete devices, that's not the case.
the manual says I should have a 20 to 50 millisecond delay in the transceiver. I don't have that. I probably should do that.
You have it already in the
that's the
Thetis.
amount
It's
of time
already
it
set
waits
there for
before it applies
150
RF
mil.
after you assert PCT.
Oh, it defaults in Thetis, Richie, to 150 mil?
Yeah, open up linearity and look.
Hang on a second. What's your call again?
I'm KC2ZUR.
No, not you, Doug.
KB2UKA.
KD2?
Bravo, Kilo Bravo 2, Uniform Kilowatt Alpha.
I thought you were in here.
Yeah, we've been talking, Mike. Doug rejoined us back in what, August, Doug?
Yeah, I was off the air for 6 months when we were selling my other house, and we moved in here August 1st. No, really, like probably September. It took me a month to get everything set up.
There's everything you could possibly want to know about a coupler.
Yeah, no, Mike, you sent me that info. Send it to Doug. But Doug, don't lose any sleep over it.
No, I won't. I know the signal's clean. I never flash red. I'll tell you what, since I've been using this amp, because with the Mercury 3, I used to use the Xtronics box with the cylinder attenuator with the little dial on top. And it did not work as good as this is working with just this sampler in the amp.
Right, and I'll explain why. The Xtronics was minus 43, 45 dB, dBm, and the one you're using now is already minus 55. So it's like putting a 10 dB attenuator
What's up, guys?
on, like that you would put on top of the Xtronics. That's why.
Yeah, but there's a drawback there.
Go ahead.
The power in your sampling cable's much lower than it would be than with the Xtronics. And the reason you were probably having issues, it was the coax you were using for the feedback.
Well, I'm using the same piece. I'm using the exact same coax I was using with the Xtronics. What do I have here? I have on 80 meters, my SATT is 21. And my feedback number is like 148, 149.
Yeah, that's perfect. Richie, understand
the
something.
sample you have has more windings around the toroid.
The power level.
Okay, and then they use resistors in there on the circuit board. I studied the VK stuff pretty well just to see what was going on. I compared everything they had, and they set it up so it's minus 55. So you get that extra attenuation in that sampler, so you don't have to add the external attenuator on the outside.
So, in effect, the power level in your sample cable is 10 dB lower, right?
Yeah, it'll be 10 dB lower than the Xtronics.
All coax cables leak, right?
Yeah,
but they already, Mike, that's already figured in. If you have to use an attenuator, you're still using the coax cable after the attenuator anyway is screwed into the coupler. So you just have less attenuation from the coupler, and you need the attenuator anyway. But you don't need the attenuator with the VK one because they already put an extra 12 dB of attenuation in there.
But me personally, I'd rather have a higher power level in my sample coax. But that's just me, right?
Why is that? Because you think it's going to sample better at the higher level?
L-Star, and sometimes I use the IQ coupler. It depends on what I'm doing.
So your rationale there is that more power in that cable, you're going to get better sampling?
No, it'll be less prone to interference if you got RF floating around for one reason or another.
Oh, I see. So it's just, for lack of a better word, it's just hearing the amp rather than anything around it.
Yeah, but you're still going to have to put a coupler before the radio. He's leaving that part out. You're still going to use an attenuator. I'm sorry. You're still going to use the attenuator, except you're not going to put it at the coupler. You're going to put it at the radio end. That's what he's trying to say.
And that makes a world of difference sometimes. You don't need an adjustable attenuator.
I've never used an adjustable one.
You follow, but you don't need it, Doug. They designed yours right. They actually tested it with the amp and the power levels, and they precisely made it so you don't add an attenuator. All the other guys, you got to put attenuators. Some of them make them with a variable resistor for attenuation. You can adjust. The one I have has too much attenuation.
You make an attenuator with a potentiometer, you're not going to keep a constant 50 ohm impedance. Just saying.
Yeah, and I'm not disagreeing with that, Mike, but you got to give him much better detail. Like, you still got to use the attenuator with the Xtronics. It's like the Xtronics is not the magic attenuator that, it doesn't work on its own. And the other thing, Doug, I wanted to say is, like, the Hermes radio is a little...
Hey, Mike, tell him I got to pick my daughter up. I'll be back. KB2UKA.
Have the LNA set up on the Hermes, and there's more control on the Anon radio with the LNA, so the level that goes in there.
Oh, here's the problem. Doug just left. He had to take his daughter. Here's the problem, Richie. You don't need the 10 dB pad, but your S attenuator will be at like 30 or 31. And that means you have no additional attenuation to protect your A to D, right? So
that's correct.
That's why you wanted about 20.
And they'll tell you not to run it at that end range because you want to run it more towards the center because Thetis is going to keep recal.
You double with me.
No, I agree with that, Mike. But Thetis, you don't want to run it at the edge of the attenuation because Thetis is going to try to keep it maintained around a certain level, a certain get peak, and then a certain level of attenuation. It tries to maintain that. So you try to keep it where the software is trying to keep the level so it doesn't keep changing while you're talking.
Yeah, no, mine's at 19 when I transit.
Hello.
Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect. That's perfect. It's perfectly set up for the Anon. It's supposed to be there between 20 and 15. 21 and 15. If it could stay in that range, it'll work stable. All right, anyway, that's it. KC2ZUR. I'm back listening.
Hey, Richie.
Thanks for the info, guys. I got to go upstairs. NP2G. Bye-bye.
73, Ed. I'm patiently waiting for dinner.
73, Ed. I thought I heard Chris out there, way out to drop down in the mud. What happened to your signal, Chris?
W3, BUD.
Oh, that's WF1U. Frank's out there.
I don't hear him. I heard it at W1HTV.
Yeah, Harry.
Yeah, go ahead, Frank. Well, no amp tonight?
I was warming up, but I wanted to talk to Richie or one of you guys. I got my Hermes running. I was having a trouble with the receive audio, and now I'm trying to work on getting the microphone audio working.
All right, I'll tell Rich you want to talk to him, but come back when your amp is on, because nobody else can hear you but me.
I think there was a BUD in there. Go ahead, bud.
Hello, everyone. It's John. W3 BUD. Just checking in.
Yeah, howdy, John. Good evening. How you doing, John? W2QAQ.
Band's a little. I'm getting a lot of crashes in my area. Not sure why. I don't see anything in the weather report.
You got a W2 BUD. He's out there by Harry on Long Island.
Yeah, I believe there's 9 BUDs. I just got a letter from a gentleman about a month ago, kind of inquiring about the BUD suffix, I guess.
Well, this cat's name is Bud.
Yeah, Bud has nothing to do with my name. It was actually the third one I picked, and the FCC gave me Bud. But phonetically, for me, it's easier. You know, it's an easy call sign.
So what the guy want? He wants to buy your call sign?
No, they're just he's just interested in the history with it, I guess. I got the letter over here. I'd have to read it. You know, he was just curious, I guess. I got to respond to him though. Let him know it's there's no reason I have this. It was like third pick. You know, I just thought, well, it's easy, Bud.
Probably John, here's Harry, W2QAQ. I don't know if we've ever spoke before. If we have, it might have been a while. But anyway, how you doing tonight? I'm out to Eastern Long Island.
Actually, I don't think we have. I'm John, W3BUD. I'm in Westchester, Pennsylvania, about 20 miles outside of Philadelphia.
Good deal. Yeah, you're coming in 10 over out here, making a trip mighty nicely. Glad to make your acquaintance. I thought maybe we had spoken once before. I just pulled up your QRZ page, and your avatar looks kind of familiar. That's all. Richie, you still out there?
Hey, Harry. KC Tuesday, you are. Good evening.
Yeah, Richie, good evening again. I just wanted to pass along a message. Frank, WF1U, is waiting for his amp to warm up, and he said he wanted to talk to you. It was something about his Hermes light and his microphone or something like that. So he should be coming on in a couple minutes with more power.
Okay, no problem. I poured a cup and got me an apple. I was talking with Mike. I ended up eating 3 pieces of candy. I had to take some insulin now.
You got to put that candy in the other room.
Oh, you distracted me. I didn't realize how much I was eating.
Your CGM started beeping? Remember that whacked broad that sued Trump for supposed rape that happened like 50 years ago? She disclosed during the trial that she had an unregistered handgun at home, and the police went by this week or so, and they took possession of it. Now, there's no word about any kind of penalty because possession of an unregistered handgun in the state of New York has a maximum 4-year prison sentence, which I think she deserves.
WF1U.
Oh, well, why did she get an unregistered handgun? How long she had it? Has she had it?
Well, no, here's the thing. There's no such thing as an illegal gun because it's unregistered. She got the gun, Richie, because she said she was afraid of all the publicity she was getting by suing Donald Trump.
Of course, what a wonderful excuse. But she probably was in fear for her life, but not because of the Trump extremists, which is all a bunch of hogwash, but probably because she was afraid she didn't go fully through with what she was supposed to do and that her own party was going to take her out.
WF1U.
What I missed, KB2UKA.
Yeah, Frank's trying to get in there. Go ahead, Frank, pick it up.
Yeah, thanks for letting me in there. Listen, Richie, can you hear me okay? This is WF1U, Frank.
Right, Frank, I hear you. I like the way the audio sounds, but you're a little low. Go ahead.
All right, let me try that there. Anyways, listen, I got a Hermes, and I've been playing with it for a couple of weeks here, and I finally got the receive audio coming through because I was having trouble with that. But now I'm kind of up in the air about the microphone input. I took the same jack that I had into my Anon and plugged it into the microphone jack on the Hermes, but I'm not getting any audio out. Over.
Okay, now I don't know nothing about the Hermes with an audio board. I think that's what you got, the Hermes Plus 2, or the Hermes 2, Hermes Lite 2 Plus, where they're using the audio board. I know nothing about that.
Well, I'm plugged into the front of the radio.
The Hermes doesn't.
Yeah, that would be the same as the Anon, so Harry could answer that. But what is there anything else?
Oh, you guys are tripling. What'd you say, Mike?
There's no built-in audio in a Hermes. You got to go through the computer.
Okay, so
I think he bought the audio board.
So, like I said, I got the receive audio working, but what's entailed to get a microphone to work through this thing?
Well, wait a minute. Did you buy a third board?
Yes, I did.
Which one? There's two of them. There's one you get from Maker's Fabs, and there's one some guy in Jersey selling. Which one you got?
I got the one from Jersey.
Oh, all right. Well, you do have audio input on the radio then. But me personally, I would never do that. I send my audio into the computer, not the radio.
And where do you go in? You go into that microphone jack, or where do you connect it?
I have a USB mic. It plugs right in the USB port on a computer.
Okay.
Yeah, Frank, what kind of a microphone do you have? And, you got to just plug it into if you have something that needs phantom power, you're going to need a preamp, and then you're going to have to go, get an XLR to, it's probably either a 1/4 inch or a 3.5 millimeter jack in the front of that Hermes Lite.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I got there, Harry. I got a 3.5 millimeter jack. It's the same jack that I used in the Anon when I plugged in the front of the Anon radio. So I figured if I could just plug this in the front of the Hermes, it would work. But it doesn't work. The radio does transmit. If I put it in FM or AM or any of those there that throw a carrier out, but I'm not getting any audio. Over.
Yeah, did you? There's a setting in Thetis for that.
That's what.
Hey guys, I gotta back out of here. Have a great night. KB2UK. Good talking with all of you.
Makes the guy Bob does his audio board. It's an audio I/O board. That thing actually bypasses VAC. You don't use VAC. I don't know how to operate that. I would help you, but I...
All right, guys, on the